So one of the interesting areas that's come up for us is the layer 4 to 7 products. So this concept of the server iron platforms that look after application-specific characteristics. One of the things that happens in this virtualized environment of ours, as you start collapsing, tens of mini towers or 3U server platforms into bladed systems, right, to an IBM Blade Center as an example, is that you start stacking applications in those spaces, and you need to be able to look at those applications and provide balanced performance, right? So one of the things that happens with the server iron platforms is this ability to mask some of these platforms to a virtual IP address and have it as a service port within the environment, and then scale on the back end of that service port, which is what the customer sees, the platforms that you need to be able to meet the demand. And whether you're masking the reply so that it looks like it's coming from the IP address that was originally addressed, or whether it's a unilateral environment where you don't care that the reply is going direct back through, depends on a balance question in terms of performance and scalability in the environment for those platforms. But those platforms are key to the customer because the performance of the application is what people actually get called about. We tend to talk about hardware a lot, we tend to talk about platforms a lot, but if we look at it honestly, what the user, either the internal user for the IT people or the external user for the IT people, sees is an application. Most of your neighbors, as an example, don't have the faintest clue what hardware their favorite website runs on, and you know what? They shouldn't have to worry about it. They shouldn't care. And your internal and external customers, if you're an IT person, you pretty much don't want them having that kind of detail about what the environment is. But what you do want to be able to do is you want to be able to respond to questions about what's the performance of this application, what kind of priorities are set for it, how do I handle it, how do I scale it. If it's an order entry environment, say for a particular customer, they probably have time of day or time of week or seasonal peaks in their environment. You need to be able to scale for that. That becomes critical to them, and the server iron platforms are the platforms that let you do that seamlessly, non-disruptively, both up and down, right? Because at the end of the season, you may want to take some number of virtual machines away from that environment because the traffic pattern isn't there to sustain it anymore. You may not want the same QoS, quality of service settings on it, at certain times, right? Those are all things that can happen out of the server iron platforms.